What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Iron Sharpens. My name is Brad Marquis, and today we are here with Financial Coach Paapa Benyarko. What we're going to be doing is talking about financial literacy. We're going to give you some tips to keeping your finances in good standings. This is something that I was not taught, and a lot of young people are not taught in school growing up on how to manage your finances. We're not taught about the stock market. We're not taught about investing in real estate and things of that nature. So today I'm super excited to be able to offer this information, or Papa offer this information, because I'm a student. I'm here with you. I'm learning too.
Right.
I want to make sure my finances in good standing, and it's not all about having money. It's about putting yourself in a position to create income.
And managing it.
Managing it. Is that what you call it?
Managing
it,
yeah.
Right. And being able to not only manage it, but grow it. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today, and we hope that you get something out of it, and I'm hoping to get something out of it. So first, we're going to bring Papa in. Papa, talk to the people about, how you got involved in this. Tell them about yourself, where you come from. Give them a little background on you.
Yes, so my name is Paapa Benyarko. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, raised in Irvington, New Jersey. It's a tough neighborhood, not well off by any means, but what we got there was determination. We saw hard work. We saw survival. Our parents, all we knew on a financial standpoint was how to survive, right? My mother always talked about it. We got to survive. We got to make it. But thriving was something I didn't see. I started going to a church, Change Church, that brought in a guy named George Thompson. And this guy, I'm telling you, changed my life as far as how I think about finances and invest, because I didn't know about investing. You see, Brad, a lot of us know about spending. A lot of us know about how to use money, but we don't know how to make it, right? So I learned that day how to make money, because through investing, it opened up a world that I didn't know as far as publicly traded companies. And this is stuff we're going to get into, but publicly traded company, privately traded, the fact that you can put something in 20 years, get something else out of it. These things I just never knew about. And through that, it just opened up a whole new world that changed my life, my wife's life, and my family's life, and I just want to share it with everybody now.
All right, cool, man. Well, here, Iron Sharpens, we're transparent, man. We're open, we're transparent. We're about education, information, accountability. Give us a little bit about your background, because I know some things about you,
right,
and I think it can help some people out there.
Right. So
how were you growing up in the 90s and all of that? Like, what was your mindset? Like, where'd your money mindset come from? Because some folks like music.
Right.
Some folks like sports.
Right.
You like finances.
Yes.
Where did that drive come from?
I'll tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, my father owned a store, a corner store.
Mm-hmm.
Sold goods and had goods and had sold services. And I used to work the cash register.
Okay.
And when I worked the cash register, it was exciting to me.
Okay.
Doing the math on how much a person is supposed to get back. Okay, how much is the total?
Mm-hmm. And
it just opened up a door of understanding, like, of how money works.
Right.
I was like 9.
Right.
So after that store closed, through the years, I started like understanding, like, okay, money is bigger than just a paycheck or like money you bring in, but it's also like it's a whole nother world out there that we don't know about as far as finances. But I never had a chance to understand it because nobody would ever show me.
Right.
So as I got introduced to George Thompson that day in a church, and he started talking about how you can invest in Apple, invest in Pepsi, invest in all these different companies. It just opened up a idea in my mind of, okay, I got to take that step.
Right.
So that's the gist of like how it all started for me. Just hearing information and then acting on that information.
All right. So here's what I'm hearing you say. Have you had first? We're talking about Mr. Thompson, who was a mentor. So he was
Well,
essentially a mentor.
he wasn't my mentor. He just came to speak. He was actually Pastor Darius Daniels' financial advisor, I believe.
Okay.
But he came to speak to the church at like a seminar.
Got you.
So we was in the crowd. I was in the crowd listening, getting intrigued.
Right.
And and then from there I took action.
Got you.
And, I read every book I can read on investing. I mean, whatever was popular, I jumped on it. So that's how that went.
And here's where where I want to go with that, because you're not talking about formal education in the field.
Right.
You actually did informal education in the field. So you actually went out yourself and gathered the information.
Right.
Now, how did you know what information to trust?
Well, if a lot of people spend their time online looking at whatever, or on social media looking at whatever, but I started watching CNBC a lot. So through CNBC, they would have various guests on there, and they would just give you the goods. They tell you, check this out, do this. Have you looked at this? I mean, throughout the day, from 8 in the morning to 6 at night with Jim Cramer, Mad Money Show, they would talk about all the things you can do, the books you can read. And life is like, if you really want to know something, you will get to understand it. So as I read one book, another book was suggested, I read that book. As I read that book, something else was suggested, I check that out. And it's just something, if you have interest in, like anything else with anybody else, if you have interest in it, you would just seek the information.
Right.
So that's pretty much like what that was. Just a general old-fashioned interest.
So where did you start? Did you start in your home with managing your finances and getting those together? Did you start with investing? Did you start stocks, real estate? Where did you start?
Well, I always believed in a budget. So before I even knew what a budget was, it just made sense to me that all the money that I have.
And for those who don't know what a budget is, just let's break it down.
Okay, a budget is basically summarizing how much money that you bring in a month versus the bills that you have, and it should come out to zero at the end of the calculation of each. So everybody don't have a budget, and if they did, they'll realize, okay, I have more a month than money. So
more bills a month than money.
I had the month goes way longer than my money goes, so that's a problem. So I always believed in, okay, I get paid every 2 weeks, I'm gonna bring that against the bills I have, and then we'll take it from there. So budgeting came naturally to me. When I got married, though, it didn't come naturally to my wife, and I had to convince her of it. But for me, it always made sense to add up how much I'm bringing in versus how much is going out. So I started with the budget. That's number one. And from there, started with investing. And also, what happened was, because when I got married, my wife had some debt. So we end up having to deal with debt and how to pay that off. And because what happens is, a lot of people don't understand is, if you can just pay off some of your debt, you actually have more money throughout the month. See, a lot of people don't calculate it like that, because they're not looking at the fact that a car can actually be paid off. You know what I mean? They under the assumption that you always have to have a car new.
Right.
Your mortgage can be paid off.
Right.
These things can be paid off, so you don't have to pay it anymore. But people, they get in their mind like these are things that's always are like the light bill or something, and it's not.
Right.
So if you take those out of the equation, you'll find that you actually make more than you think. Right.
Do you have a method for paying down debt? Do you have a system for that?
Well, it's the same method as Dave Ramsey has. And anybody that want to know about Dave Ramsey could check him out. But it's a snowball method, which means that you take the biggest bill the smallest bill. You take the smallest bill that you have, you pay it off, and you don't spend that money now. You add it. Well, first of all, you have to have a multiplier. So let's say you have to take $100 or $200, something that you're using to just start off paying off the debt. Once you pay off the first bill, you don't spend that money. you take the money and you add it to it. So once you add to it, then you pay off the next one. Don't spend it though. Now you gotta the number keeps growing.
Right.
So you've went from $100 to pay off bills to now maybe $700.
Okay. So
to pay off bills.
Here's what I think. Let me just for clarification, so I'm knowing. So
Right.
we have a bill here for I guess we have a $100 credit card bill.
Right.
So we add 100 on top of that. So we're actually paying $200 into a $100 monthly card.
Well, no. Let's say you have the bill, not the bill, but the monthly payment.
Right.
So the bill can be $2,000.
Right. The monthly payment is
maybe like $30 a month.
All right. So
something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Right.
So that's what I meant when I said
Okay.
that, not the full balance.
Right.
But the actual monthly payment
Right.
is say $100.
Right.
So you pay $100 on top of that.
Well, you can start your multiplier can be with so like the money you say I'm gonna use this money to tackle debt.
Right.
Can be anything.
Right.
You could be $200. It could be $80.
Got you.
So you're gonna use that money for your smallest monthly bill.
Right.
And when you knock that out, then you can take the money you had plus whatever that monthly bill was and add it to it,
Right.
and then jump on the next bill.
So we're not spending after we paid off that account. We're not spending that $100. We're taking that $100 that we was using that bill and we're adding it to the next bill.
Yeah.
So now we that.
Plus the multiplier.
That's the multiplier.
Plus the multiplier.
Plus the multiplier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if the bill was $100 a month, we're paying $200 into that $100 bill. Once we knock that out, so now we have $300 that we're paying into the next bill.
Into the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
And so once we knock that once that next bill is knocked out, whatever we were paying into that next bill plus the multiplier.
Right. And if you just want to say that, now you got $600.
Now you got $600.
Yeah. So now you're paying on next. So and that's how you knock out car notes in a year.
Right.
That's how you knock out student loan payments.
Right.
That's how you knock out car notes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's and credit card bills.
Right. How did you said your wife was not good at budgeting or she didn't budget a lot when you guys got married.
No.
How did you convince her to get on your wave?
We had to have a real argument about it. And I told her one time, I said, well, you could clearly see I'm good with money because I don't have any debt. So to be our age, we was 20, 31, 32.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Not have debt.
Yeah, I didn't have anything. I drove an old Honda Accord at the time, and all that stuff. So, and she had a lot of debt. So I said, clearly I got to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you got to trust me on this one.
Right.
And let me lead.
Right.
And it just was like, all right, yeah, I see what you're doing. So let's start a joint account.
Right.
We're gonna have, so how I do it with a budget, have a joint account. All the bills are written down and itemized as far as how much they are, down to the groceries. And then I also add in there how much we plan on saving a month. So that's part of our monthly bills. So in the beginning, we wasn't using that number to save. We was using that money to knock down debt.
Okay.
So that's how we got that. We used that number that we planned on one day saving. We couldn't do it at the time.
Right.
To knock down the debt.
Right.
And then we started. That was our multiplier.
Got you.
So we took that and we knocked off the debt. And as she saw like stuff start getting paid off, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is real. And
just for those who are like me when I was first starting out, when he's mentioning multiplier, basically if you got your monthly balance is $100, if you're only paying that $100, you're not knocking down your debt.
No, because of the interest.
Because of the interest, and so you have to put something on top of that.
You got to put something on top
in order to start knocking off that interest. So that's what he means by multiplier. You add, and then we continue to stack on stack until all the bills are paid off.
Yeah.
What do you think some of the common mistakes are? That put people in debt?
Let me see. I don't think like everybody else. So I know you might hear me say something and okay, Dave, okay, I see what he doing. No. I don't think like everybody else. So I think there is a time to be in debt. When the interest rates was at zero, and you can get a loan for 1.8%. I don't see what was the real issue with that. Or you can get a credit card with 0 interest for a year. Okay, I'm not against that. So a lot of people that might be speaking about debt, they might say, "Oh, no, that no, zero, nothing." I'm like, nah, but what's the situation going on in the world? What's happening? Like, what? So right now, that interest rates is moving up. We a 30-year fixed mortgage rate right now is like 8%. So so now that it's kind of time to step back from debt, because the banks are going to, they about to make some money. So, you want to get away from it now. You want to so like if you was in it, 2020, 2019, now it's time to step away, because this is, you're going to realize you're going to start losing now. So, what was the question?
What common mistakes do you see individuals make to put them in debt?
See, this it's a lot of people have a lot of emotion tied to their lifestyle and like things that they have. So even if they find things are going up in price, stuff has changed, they will continue to do said thing, live said life, and they realize they can't really afford it no more. So now they figure, well, let me just start using my credit card. One credit card turns into 2, turns into 3. And then they say to themselves, well, I can't go without a trip. I've been taking trips. I can't go without, I can't, And then these choices, that's how it all started. You can be $20,000 in debt tomorrow. I mean, it's quick.
Right. You come out of college, $100,000 in debt.
And that's like a whole nother thing. So now, even with Biden canceling a lot of the student loan debt, it's still millions of people that's dealing with this student loan debt, and it's very unfortunate, because it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, it's all about the interest. It's all about the compound interest. All about the way. I gotta talk about that. I know a little bit.
This is my co-host. I'm telling you.